This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z in the house. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football. We got Stevie B from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. And we got a special guest, No Sweat Surge, who has emerged from the cave, especially on today. Yeah. So glad to have all the boys back in the studio. Sean was there for a little bit in the No Water podcast.
Yeah, he came and he left. I don't know if he's coming back again.
That's all right. Little cameo there. Kind of like Marvels. They just walk back in the background.
Yeah, there you go. Always.
Episode 231 is brought to you by 606 Media. He's still there. There he is. True Chicago sports fans and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official podcast shirts now. If you're watching on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, hit that subscribe button.
Smash that button.
That's right. And if you're on your favorite podcast app, remember you can give us a 5-star review, drop some nice comments, shoot us up on the charts. Really appreciate your support every week. You can also support us by with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on the support button. And you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. So put some change in our little pocket so we can have better production and better stuff. And just be a supporter. If you haven't done so, we have other shows on the 606 Media lineup. We got the No Water on the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean. It's a funny podcast. They talk about different stuff, movies, pop culture, Chicago-centric news.
Marvel,
really good show.
Comics, you name it, we talk about it.
Yeah, it's been great. Now that they got the little new studio in Stevie B's place, and that's getting set up pretty good. Yeah, it kind of looks like a bang. I can't say it. If you know, you know.
I'm not allowed to comment.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the show.
I was
PG.
already pre-warned.
Yeah. Between you and Ivan, the bleep button doesn't work anymore. So it's been burned out by Ivan. You can also check out Impossicated with Big Z. Is where I deep dive into people's guests, to my guests' live stories. There's 10 episodes now. I just filmed the last 2. Looking to have everything done by March. Well, I should have another 10 episodes ready for everyone to go. So go and check that out. So 3 great shows on 606media.com. That is your hub for all of our content. Or you can go on our YouTube pages and check those out. But without further delay, episode 231, Ben F. and Johnson. In this episode, the Bears have finally got it right with hiring Benjohnson, one of the best play callers, most coveted belle of the ball in the NFL. We'll talk about the Bulls who are shopping some players, and we'll end the show with what you're watching. But let's go into our 3 and out segment so we can talk about our Bears. And here we go. Bear down, baby. That's right. Go Chicago Bears. It's an exciting day for the Chicago Bears franchise as they hired Benjohnson. And this is a hiring that's very catered to our quarterback, an offensive-minded coach. So we don't have to worry about our offensive coordinator dipping out, just like the Detroit Lions are losing their offensive coordinator and possibly their defensive coordinator. So that will help us out in the division. But boys, what is the reaction from everywhere? Everyone's in a different spot right now. But JC, start us off with your reaction.
I'm going to start off with saying great news. Past couple days, I've been reading more and more about Benjohnson possibly to the Raiders. So for breaking news to hit Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, today that the Bears actually have gone ahead and got Benjohnson, got their guy. Great news.
Stevie B.
Yeah, it's a great Monday. I mean, foreshadowing other things that go on Mondays, but I was actually shocked because this past weekend, I was pretty annoyed the fact that we were talking about the NFC North and how strong it is and how it's going to be the best. And all the teams lost. Green Bay's out. Minnesota lost on Monday. And then you had Detroit losing an upset on Saturday. It's they're not scary at all. And it looks like we have a chance again to take the North and never give it back, apparently, that we have heard multiple times. But no, I was just blown away by, Washington and the Eagles. And that's going to be a great game. But also, like, the NFC, like, not too impressed with us, with the North. But so we have a chance next season. So I'm excited.
Serge?
Yeah, Benjohnson. Yeah, a little excited. I know my kids are excited. Here's my problem with Benjohnson is that I didn't really want him because I thought of Matt Nagy. And when we got Nagy, he was an offensive coordinator and didn't do crap when he was here. So he's just a good coordinator, right? So some people are just not meant to be head coaches. Yes, I'm not being very optimistic, but I have no choice because he's coming, just like I wasn't optimistic with Caleb Williams. So I wanted to keep Fields. And look at we got the same crap anyway. So let's see how it goes for the next season. Let's see how this offseason goes. And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for right now because Detroit did put up a lot of points, but we do have a big problem. Benjohnson has a lot of work to do as soon as he signs that contract, and he needs to get that. I can't say the O-line. He needs to get the O-line addressed. That O-line is complete garbage. I don't care. We should have drafted Jaden. He would have done. No, Jaden would have been on IR in week 6. Rodgers would have been on IR in week 3 because he's old. So who cares? So Benjohnson, yeah, it's a good signing. I'm glad everybody's happy. Just like when Caleb Williams was signed. Like I said, I was not for it. I'm still not for it because I'm still not seeing where the ceiling is, right? I'm not seeing anything great. But maybe next season we'll do better when we have a better.
So Serge is coming from a scorned wife kind of situation where you've been burned so many times. You're not going to be optimistic because you're so used to it being the same thing no matter what, huh?
Wait.
You gotta know what love is, man. You gotta know what love is.
Yeah, well,
I want to know what love is.
I can't even say that, man. You guys have me.
Love got
to
do with it.
Hey, we're gonna get censored. So here's the problem: is that
there you go. You got censored.
Who let the dogs out? This is the problem: is that when Adam Schefter came on the TV today on ESPN and said they've been privately talking to Benjohnson for 2 weeks, but I interviewed for this job on Friday, and this is I know we work regular jobs. This would have teed me off. Right? Is that the proper way of saying that? The politically correct way of saying that? Okay. So that would have made me upset because you knew who the hell you wanted 2 weeks ago. Why the hell are you interviewing me now? Because I know they have to go through the political process. The process. This sucks. Because you knew you were going to hire. You wasted my time. I flew to Chicago to get cold, be all cold, go through the snow, whatever it is that's going on out there, because I'm in Colorado, just to interview, just so you knew who you wanted. Get out of here, man.
Man, that's how life is in general with any job. You just get a courtesy interview, and then that's it. And then they already know what they want.
It's to fulfill a quota.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to interview as many people as you can. I thought the list was ridiculous. But still, like, you got to – it's HR stuff, man. It's 101 HR stuff.
It's a crappy feeling. It's a crappy feeling because you go through this in regular life where I'm sitting there and Mary Jo or whoever is sitting across from me. She knew she got the job 2 weeks ago. She ain't telling nobody. But then I interview her.
I'm going through that stuff right now, man. It's
a crappy feeling. But anyways, we got him. Everybody's happy. Let's just see what he does. But
I'm just glad we didn't go on Mike McCarthy. Like it's that one.
Wait. Let's not stop on Mike McCarthy. Yes, he didn't do that great over there, but he does have a winning record and he has a very good proven track record. Now, has he won one since Green Bay? No, but he has a winning record. So
he has the same record as Mike Tomlin as far as playoff wins and all that. But
I'll take him.
If
we didn't get Johnson, I would have taken McCarthy.
Of course.
Why not?
Of course, a proven coach. Yeah, definitely. But to your point of interviewing a 20 candidates, you're gonna do that if you're hiring no matter what. And you're gonna be like, oh, I like this guy a lot, or I like this girl a lot. You know what? Let's put them over here, but still let's listen to everybody else. In the NFL, you have the Rooney rule. So you have to interview 2 minorities at a minimum. But you also want to interview other people that are in the NFL that can tell you about your team from the outside. So if you're getting Mike McCarthy, who's coming, who's possibly the number 2 candidate that they were going to hire, right? So you're having him come in hey, what do you see that's wrong with our offense? What do you see that's wrong with Caleb? How can we improve that? How can you improve the defense? Who would you add to your staff? Who would you add in the draft? You're picking the mind of different people and taking all that information and then making an educated decision. Even if you wanted the hot girl at the club, right? And you said, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to her," but she only gave me 2 minutes, and then you go off and talk to other chicks at the club, but you still want to come back to that one. All right, it's as simple as that.
Give that one the most attention because there's other teams
you're
and
giving
other
the
guys who are
Chicago
going to talk to her.
Bears head office a lot of credit on being logical. That sounds all logical. The Chicago Bears are the same ones who hired Nagy, Eberflus.
That's not the same administration. Remember, they hired the coach, then the GM, then the president. They did everything backwards. So now you have a president and a GM who are, locked and synced in what they want to do. And they went after the like Derek, who's watching us. Thanks, Derek, for chiming in. Who's talking about, Brent Johnson coached his offense for 3 years, and he was also offensive coordinator, game planner, and tight ends coach in Miami, and then came over to Detroit with the coaching staff, and then he's been calling games for 3 years. One of the top offenses. He's changed and improved what Jared Goff was. He was a has-been, and look what they made him do. Yes, he came back to being a has-been, but so did the kid in Minnesota. The clock struck 12, and those two quarterbacks went back to their old ways. It is what it is, but this is a great hire. You got the hottest coordinator who actually ran an offense, knows what he's doing, and is able to fix what we're doing.
I'll end this
they're doing
on
it
this
right
note.
this time.
For me, after seeing the Vikings lose and seeing how Detroit's defensive coordinator ruined that game, I was like, I don't want to touch any of those coaches, those coordinators, because it's like you're going to get as close as you can and then lose. I'm okay with the signing. So, but yeah.
So
not for me, but also like you bring up, they're already talking that Benjohnson is talking about bringing in Dennis Allen, former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and he is known as a very good coordinator as well. So to bring him in, I mean, you're already putting a pretty good stud, coaching staff together. Now, can we get an O-line coach to help us out? That would be appreciated. But so far from the understanding of, I don't know if Ben will continue to call plays as the head coach, or if he'll find somebody that he trusts to call plays. We'll see how that works. But Dennis Allen is definitely going to be someone he can lean on, who has head coaching experience, to kind of pick up some of the slack as a first-time head coach, that he can lean on, ask questions, and things of that nature.
Yeah, definitely agree that I think the Bears are doing it the right way, where they're getting this hotshot coordinator, and then you pair them up with two great coordinators, as far as one for offense, one for defense, who have had coaching experience. And you round it out that way. He's not going to know everything what to do as a head coach off the back, but you can add that with what's his name, Dennis Allen, who's he got fired in New Orleans, but New Orleans is a crapshoot with what they did. They're in crap hell. Everything's gone wrong down there, so it is what it is. But I can't wait. Is he going to bring some of his staff from Detroit? He's going to the game. What is it, game time manager or whatever they call them, all that stuff. Is he going to bring some people there, or are they going to bring a big time player?
I have a big question.
Yeah.
What is going to happen? So remember all this leading up to Benjohnson being hired. What is going to happen to Poles? Remember, Poles was scared of Benjohnson because he's going to be supposedly bringing in his own GM and so forth. What happens to Poles after this?
Poles is on his lame duck year. He's got one more year after this. So we'll see what Poles does with the draft and his offseason signings, and we'll see what he does. And I think that's probably what's been assured.
Do you not think they're gonna mesh together or gel or whatever?
I think so. I think they'll gel very well. Is wherever he is lacking on, I think Benjohnson is going to be great at. Obviously, we've seen that he cannot draft any offensive lineman or defensive lineman, but he's good at drafting secondary, right? So like and linebackers. So we see what they're doing. I don't know. All right, Derek is saying that they will retain Thomas Brown as OC. I highly doubt that. He's been interviewing for OC positions and head coaching positions all over the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to stay. He's not going to be there. We're going to have a new staff and everything. Ben Johnson's going to bring everyone new in. I don't think he's going to stay.
I mean, could Ben Johnson think he is a good offensive coordinator? Possibly. But I really think that Ben Johnson will want to bring somebody of his own, who he trusts, who he's worked with prior.
Right.
You know, again, did Brown show us something this year when he was calling plays before he was elevated to the next step? Yeah, I mean, he showed he was competent in calling plays because our offense was humming under him. However, like I said, you know, he'll get his opportunity somewhere. I just don't know if it'll be under Ben, because I think Ben will want to bring in somebody of his own.
Yeah, I mean, even when he was calling plays for the Bears, he was still using Waldron's offense. Like, he made some adjustments, but he had to use Waldron's offense so that way it doesn't confuse offensive linemen and receivers and the quarterback. So try to keep some kind of continuity. So, you know, he was handicapped as it was. Could he have made changes and gone rogue? Yeah, but then that precedes you when you go to your next interview because they're going to check in on you. So I don't see it. But for me, I say, you know, you try to get someone off his tree or someone that's just been fired. So there's a lot of coaches that were fired, a lot of coaches that were not working this year. So that might be an opportunity for some of those coaches that were not good at coaches but are way better coordinators. And you know, obviously Dennis Allen is one of them.
Well, then my next question is going to be, how much money? So is this Tomkowski saying, we're giving the people what they want, we're giving Benjohnson, we gave him Caleb Williams. Are they actually going to open up the pocketbook and say, hey, you know what, we're going to give you a blank check to go do what you want to do?
I think
they have to at this point.
Yeah, I think with Virginia at her age, I think they might go for it. Kind of. I mean, she is 101 or something like that.
We're all in. I'm going to die anyway.
I mean,
she's not taking the money with her, that's for sure.
I mean, between the land and owning the team and all, I mean, the kids will be okay, you know?
Yeah. The grass is greener on the other side too. Like, geez, man, like there's fountain of youth with that, with all the generations they're going to have. So, I
mean, the NFL is a lot better when the Chicago Bears are a good and exciting team. And anytime you see that, you see them on prime time TV at least 5 times a year. You'll see them on Thanksgiving. You'll see them on Monday nights. You'll see them on Sunday nights. You'll see them on Thursdays.
You'll see it as America Game of the Week.
Right.
Well, yeah. The other reason why we want to go all in is it's what, the 40th anniversary?
I didn't know that. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
40th anniversary since we've had a Super Bowl.
Yep, they're going to do something to come out like somewhere along the season next year and have all of them come back. Watch, I guarantee it.
Steve, you're saying they're going to overcompensate. That's what I'm hearing.
No, they're not the Cubs. They're not the Cubs. I have more faith in the front office from the Bears than I do the Cubs. So let's just, man, I'm excited. I'm excited, and sometimes, you know, it's hard to contain yourself because the city is so much better when the Bears are winning. Everyone's a happier effing person.
No one's like screaming in traffic, no swearing, there's no pew pew. It's just a nice.
Yeah, even topical fans that don't even follow, but they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard the Bears won." Then, you know, it starts a great.
Did you watch the Bears? It's even at hair salons. Oh yeah, my husband is, you know, he's watching the Bears and I'm so into it, Becky. But yeah,
that's what Steven gets his hair done at the salon.
Yeah, totally. No, I like getting my hair washed and like scrubbed down by a woman. I'm sorry, sue me.
No judgment.
But no, I'm good. The city, like you said, it's always booming. I love it. I'm happy. I want the Super Bowl to be over with already. I want spring training to be here, but we got to wait.
I think everybody's bets for Super Bowl winners pretty much,
Well, they
out
said
the window.
yeah.
Everybody wanted Detroit versus Baltimore, and both two teams are out the door now, right?
I mean, I
Kansas
want the
City's
Bills
got
to win
those
it
refs in
all.
their pocket.
Honestly,
Those were weak calls. I'm sorry.
Yes,
This is
yes.
something that just doesn't. It doesn't pass the smell test. Is it
Even Troy Aikman was like, "That's not a hit on a quarterback." He's like,
"There's a lot of bad calls." I made 3 major calls that were vital to the or instrument to the game. It was bad. They're bad calls.
All right. So, any wishes for coordinators that are available?
to be honest, I want the best man for the job. I don't care. Best man for the job. JC?
Like I said, I mean, Dennis Allen is definitely an interesting one to me. As for who the offensive coordinator will be, I honestly don't know, because hopefully Ben is the one, putting his finger on that and calling plays, kind of like Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. And Dennis Allen can kind of, control some of the other aspects of the day-to-day, and take some of that pressure off of Benjohnson to allow him to call plays. Other than that, like I said, I don't have any offensive coordinator in mind. I was talking to my guys earlier today, and we were talking more about, free agency and the draft. Like, okay, we got our guy now, like, and now like some of my guys are like, oh, we want Ashton Genty at 10. And, I was kind of like, well, we just signed Swift to a $8.5 million deal.
I did see that.
Which, okay, we have him this year, and then next year we can cut him and have a dead cap of $1.33 million, which, that's a kick in the bucket, like we talked about with Cairo Santos. When it comes to dead cap. But it's one of those where it's like, when I look at a top 10 pick, I look at the positions that get paid the most. So I want to look at left tackle and edge rusher usually, when it comes to that high in the draft. And it's one of those where, I don't know what we're going to do. And to me, it's all going to come down to free agency, because free agency is going to dictate where we go in the draft. If we can sign a couple veteran linemen, then that changes where we go in the draft. We don't have to draft offensive linemen in the draft. So, that opens things up. So, like I said, we have our coach. We potentially have our defensive coordinator in Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen still runs a 4-3 defense, so we're not changing defenses.
I'll tell you this, Montez Sweat wishes he was still probably in Washington.
I don't think so.
I mean, so. They look better without him. I'm telling you that right now. They look better without him.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, you look at Washington and all the years under the horrible ownership that was there prior. And now, you have new ownership, you bring in a better coach, and all of a sudden turns the whole franchise around. So let's pray that the Bears have the same outcome.
Well, so this is an offensive minded head coach. So he's
correct.
So I don't give a crap who they bring in, to be honest, because offensively, because you know what's going to happen? He's going to switch stuff up anyways, right? This PG stuff is not really working for me. Really not. But he's gonna do what he wants anyways. Benjohnson's gonna. That's not going to work, buddy.
Well, but that's the whole point is, you look at the Andy Reid, Matt Nagy situation where the Bears were convinced that Matt Nagy was this up and coming coordinator. And then you find out, no, it was Andy Reid the whole time behind the scenes. So again, hopefully Benjohnson is the Andy Reid. And it doesn't really matter who the offensive coordinator is. It's like Sean McVay. It's like Kyle Shanahan. Yep. You can pick guys off of the coaching staff, and it doesn't matter because they're still the guy.
Who's the one that Belichick had for, and then he became the Broncos head coach and winded up back in, is it Daniels or something like that? Like some of these
Josh McDaniels.
There it is. Yeah. And don't get it twisted. he got that team where he got the right players. He just didn't have the right scheme or whatever it was, because he actually did that whole line himself. However, OC, all offensive coordinators sometimes are just not meant to be head coaches. They're just not meant to be that type of leader, and that's why I'm scared about Benjohnson. I know I'm just scared. I'm in fetal position right now because I'm scared. But
yeah,
you're going to bring in a guy, and we're going to
you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't want to be disappointed. I'm tired of being disappointed.
I mean, I've gone through my whole life like that. So, you get used to it after a while, and you become numb, man. So, just go with the flow here.
Well, but here's also the thing, right? Dan Campbell is a defensive-minded coach, so that whole offense was being run by Benjohnson, and it's been run by him for the past 3 years with success. So it's one of those where, yes, Josh McDaniels, you look at what he did in Denver. However, what Denver did wrong was they gave Josh McDaniels GM capabilities where he traded away Jay Cutler, and he traded away some of his best players because they didn't fit his Patriot culture. And the bottom line is then they went and got who? Tim Tebow?
Kyle Orton killed it out there.
Yeah.
It was Kyle Orton.
Yeah, he did.
I love Kyle Orton.
Same. Yeah. I do too.
He wanted them sit. You know what? I was so mad because I was living out here in Colorado, and they were like, "Oh, we got Kyle Orton, and you guys took Jay Cutler, blah blah." And then they went on a 6-game winning streak. I was so mad. I hate these fans out here, but I was so ticked off.
All right, Israel, thanks for chiming in with your humor. I don't even want to mention some of those things that Israel said up there, but free agents, we got Trey Smith from the Kansas City. Do you think he makes it to free agency?
Did he just say, I think Matt Nagy could have run that offensive? Man, go. Israel, you on timeout, brother. You on timeout.
I'm glad you. I was going to say, I don't know that I've seen any of the comments. Oh, brother, sorry. I just clicked the comment section.
Yeah, that brother is going off. And I'm going to tell you, Israel, no bueno. He has no adobo in his game when he came over here. No, he needs to stay over there under Reed, and he's doing very good. No adobo. He has no seasoning in Chicago. He stays over there with the Chiefs. Leave him where he's at. He's doing fine. Do whatever. I can't say what I really want to say because we got to keep it clean. But no, Papa. He doesn't belong in Chicago.
And no, we're not trading Montrez Sweat for a fifth.
No, we're not. I just brought him up because Washington is in the NFC Championship game, and
No, Montez had a down year with Billings being out, and
the leg injury.
He's I was gonna say he's had a few injuries this year. But overall, this is why I'm talking, at 10, if at 10, say Will Campbell and Kevin Banks are gone as left tackles, you're sitting there. There's multiple edge rushers that will be available at that 10 spot. And, whether it be Pierce, Scorton, Michael Williams, all of these edge rushers are going to be there available at 10. So to me, it's going to be one of those where, I know we need defensive tackle to help, compress that pocket from the inside. But if you walked away with an edge rusher at 10, you can't beat that, to help Sweat get after these quarterbacks.
So, yeah, back to the original question. Do we get the guard from the Kansas City? Trey Smith.
Oh, Trey. So what I was going to say about Trey Smith is that, I really think, anytime you have a Pro Bowl player, you're going to try and keep him. So I think Kansas City will do everything they can to keep him. The problem is that Kansas City has a lot of free agents this offseason, and they only have $11 million in cap space. So unless they go to the piggy bank of Patrick Mahomes again and restructure his contract and restructure Travis Kelce and restructure and keep kicking the can down the road of when you're going to pay these guys.
Hey,
Right.
if the Dodgers could do it, Kansas City could do it. Why
Well,
not?
yeah, the cap's a little different in the NFL than
I was
it
gonna
is
say,
in the
did you just say
MLB.
the Dodgers? Those are the same guys deferring payments 10 years ahead. What are we doing?
They have their players on layaway. All right, leave it alone. It's on
Damn.
layaway.
Like, we ain't gotta pay these cats. It's all good. We're gonna pay them 10 years eventually.
It's like, don't worry, we're going to pay them
Meanwhile,
off the
in real-
interest of their
you.
sweat and equity.
They're one of 3 teams that has their own channel, so no one's cord cutting. So they're getting tons of revenue. It's all of theirs. So that's where they're getting their money from. Anyways, back to the Bears. Yeah, a free agency is going to dictate what we do in the draft, and then are we going to be gunslingers and move up in the draft?
To me personally, I don't think you move up. But again, I think Trey Smith is definitely a possibility. Like I said, because Kansas City only has $11 million in cap space. So there is a very big possibility with the Bears being in, I think, the top 5 of cap space this year. I know Las Vegas and a couple other teams do have more cap space than us.
Mhm.
However, like I said, if we can offer Trey Smith a very good contract, I'm not sure what the going rate for guards is.
So it looks like 20 million. Looks like 20 million a year.
Well, like I said, I don't know if it's 23, 25, 27,
Right.
I'm not exactly sure. But the bottom line is that he's 25 years old in the prime of his career. Even if you offer him a 4-5 year deal, that still takes him to 30 years old. That's perfect to me. So therefore, like, I have no reservations paying that guy. Now the next step is are we going to move up in the draft?
No, I don't.
I could potentially see, like, with the second rounders, like, if you really have a guy you're after and you think he's not going to make it to you, potentially, yes. Do I think we're going to move up from 10? No, I do not. Just because a lot of times in that range, it gets a little too rich, and a little too costly. And to me, I think the Bears are sitting in the perfect position at 10 to walk away with a left tackle, either Campbell, Banks, or Josh Simmons, or you walk away with the second best edge rusher. Now, what I was bringing up to my guys in the group chat was, potentially, there's a couple top corners in the draft.
There is.
Would you? I mean, even though I know we have Gordon, we have Stevenson, we have Smith, but to get a top tier guy across from Jalen Johnson, would you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on doing something like that?
Go ahead, Serge.
I'm still worried about the offensive line. So like, how the hell did we wind up on defense? But JC does have a very good point, and we do need somebody to counteract with what's his face. So, but I don't think does Stevenson come back? Do you think he does?
He had his ups and downs there after that Hail Mary. With
the Hail Mary to Chicago.
Yes, with the new coaching staff, can they get his head on right and get him refocused and recommitted? I hope they can, because I thought Stevenson was playing great last year. And then, like I said, he was playing good up until that Hail Mary. And then, like I said, he had 2 or 3 bad games after that. And then they were reducing his role and giving Smith more of a role. So it's one of those where, like, I was kind of sitting there today and I was like, well, there's a couple corners, but like if one of those corners really fell, and we also, thanks to our guy Thor from Northeastern, he brought up potentially even trading Jalen Johnson. So, personally, I'm against trading Jalen Johnson, but it's one of those where if you got the top tier cornerback, I forget his name, he's from Michigan, but if you, I think it's Will something. But if you were able to get him, then you have the opportunity of potentially trading Jalen Johnson, or Stevenson or Smith or whoever,
Clear
maybe
some cap room.
clear some cap room, and or not have to pay Stevenson or one of these guys that may be coming up for contract.
That part.
Which would probably be Gordon, because I think he was drafted before Stevenson. But the other issue then becomes also, we have a Jaquan Brisker issue. So you do have a Malachi Starks at safety, who is another very highly touted prospect. Kyle Hamilton was the last safety to go that high to the Ravens, and he's been balling out for the Ravens. So, like I said, there's plenty of options for the Bears, but like I said, when it comes to that top 10 pick, I really try and look at the positions that get paid the most, and that's edge and left tackle.
At a good point. Like, why don't we just go back and Mr. DeLeon, I'm actually giving you some credit, because that Nagy one was that was a dud, brother. So what we're going to do is, why don't we go back and get some assets? That is actually not a bad idea, because
I know we have a lot of second round picks, right?
Yeah.
You have two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a mock draft where I traded back one of the second round picks, and
You
picked
both
up,
did.
some.
I wasn't invited, but yeah.
some some third rounders and fourth rounders, etc. But it's one of those where, like I said, at 10, I don't see us trading back from 10, just because I mean unless you're trading back to get a guard, which really there's no guards unless you're trading back into the late 20s that are really worth it, because Will Campbell, who is the left tackle, he's touted as the best offensive player or offensive lineman in the draft. But they are saying like he's potentially going to be a guard, because they think he has T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where, you don't know. And unfortunately, we'll see what happens,
But you're letting Benjohnson get involved. So let's start this.
Well, let's be honest. Benjohnson knows what needs to be done in the way of an offensive line, because Detroit has one of the best offensive lines,
and they drafted offensive line over and over and over until they got it right. So,
correct.
But then
I'm in a good place. It's a good day.
Defense suffered, because look at the Commanders. The Commanders were able to put up more points than they did at the end of the day.
I mean, that's different. They were able to flip it like a switch over there.
Everybody on Detroit was hurt on the defensive side.
And that's fair. You know what? I always forget about that. That they did.
But let's also bring up the fact is, if we can get our offensive line corrected, that our tight end can finally be used as a pass catching option.
Yep.
What's his name again? Because I don't see him getting the ball thrown all the time too. I forgot his name already.
I was waiting.
I'm kind of blanking on
Cole?
him.
I know he's a good-looking guy. He's in Barstool a lot, but I think it's Cole Kmet, right?
Every time I looked up, Grandpa Keenan Allen was catching the ball. So,
hey, you know what? He had some good passes, catches, I should say. So I have no complaints with him.
He also has timely drops. He also has some timely drops, and that was going to be my next question. I for me, I would say you give that role to Rome Odunze, and you make him develop. No, Israel Mercedes Lewis is going to be working at the Mercedes dealership. He is no longer on this team. After he spoke out, you never heard from him again.
He won't be able to afford the Mercedes.
Yeah. Definitely, for me, you have Rome.
O'Reilly.
You use what you have. You have DJ Moore at the 1, you have Rome at the 2, and then you use Cole Kmet as your safety valve, just like Kansas City does, and you use him as almost as like a wide receiver at times. And then you can get, some of the wide receivers that we do have there are 4th and 5th on the depth chart. They did pretty well. I think it's Tyler Scott, who's our returner. They were doing pretty well. And if you're just going to use them sparingly, I think we're good.
I
But
mean,
there is going to be wide receivers that are going to be available that are going to be free agents.
if it's $2 million, I'm not going to why not?
No, but he's going to demand way more than that.
I don't think so. He had an off year.
Plays half the season. He's always hurt.
Well, he missed what, 3 games?
Yeah, probably.
I think that was the least amount of games he missed in a season, right?
Yeah.
So I get he might ask more, but also that was Caleb's favorite target at the end of the season.
Okay. And can we address the kicker real quick, because I know kicks is
hold
on. Because we missed some games there. Now, he was the hero with the Packers game. We'll give him that. But he blew the last Packers game that was blocked, right? With the low kicks. So
God, you hate Santos. What is you against Santos? Who hurt you?
I thought I was against Santos, but he was missing some kicks that were.
Oh man, you guys missed the episode with me and Big Z. That it was just me and Z. And
I'd rather have Santos than Gonzalez. That's for sure.
I went off on Cairo Santos.
Cairo. Yeah, definitely. He just signed the deal, so he was making a lot of money. And JC said, in perspective, you literally can cut him, and it's not going to hurt your cap as much. What's up, Crooked Commish? Yeah, so definitely you draft a kicker in the last pick that you have, or you pay for one in the free agency market.
I pay for one.
And don't say you want Robbie Gold. I know where you're going with this, Serge.
Robbie Gold.
No, I was going to say Robbie Gold. I haven't seen him in a while. I didn't even think
he's coaching.
Well, there you go. Don't say we got to go get Robbie Gold and that's the solution, because that's not the solution. Let him coach. Let him be a dad. Let him, have apple juice and Capri Suns and picking boogers. Let him do his thing.
He's coaching high school kids.
Still picking boogers underneath the seats of the desks. Still. Orange slices. Carpool rides.
Yeah. Cricket Commission, we just covered the draft pick. We all agree to be defense. Cody Parkey, you're out of your mind. Israel.
Defense. Why do you say all? Don't put me in all. I thought we were talking offense, and all of a sudden we switched to defense. Now, did I disagree?
You switched to defense.
Point? No, but I'm thinking Benjohnson's gonna go offense. I'm thinking we're gonna get.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I'm sorry, we're gonna draft an offensive player.
You said defense. I'm like, I didn't agree. No,
I got mixed up with all the comments on here. Definitely draft the offensive side and get all your line straight. Definitely you want to protect Caleb, so that way he doesn't have 58 sacks or whatever the number was. So essentially, you should address the offensive line as much as you can, and then supplement it with some defensive pieces. So that's pretty much what we should do. Again, get a new kicker. God,
Mr. Big Z ain't paying attention over here. He got words with man. We gonna switch
I'm doing
spots
5 different things right now. Look at all these comments.
Yeah, I just show up and I'm here. I don't do much. I just show up. This is why I like coming on this podcast, because I don't have to do anything.
Well, the beautiful thing is I usually don't have the comments pulled up. Usually I don't get distracted by the comments, but now that I've turned the comments on, it's like, oh yeah, I am getting slightly
Mr. De Leon is going off. Kamish says something, and there was something at the top that I couldn't get back because I have the stupid Apple mouse that I hate. But I was trying to go up to the earlier.
It's 2 fingers, bro. Just scroll with 2 fingers.
No, it's one. I only need one.
Yes, the way he did it, I'm not going to do it. But how big?
PG guys, PG talking about 2 fingers.
I'm talking about scrolling with the mouse.
Yes,
just one. It just takes one.
Bunny ears. Bunny
ears. There you go. Peter Cottontail.
You see, we missed Mr. Derek Carter's things and Dennis Mody's comments over here. So there was some stuff.
We addressed a little bit of Derek Carter. He talked about the who's going to be the DC. We addressed that. I couldn't put Dennis's comment on screen because it swears. So again, we're trying to be a little bit more PG.
Dennis, if I get my own show, I'm blasting your comments.
That's for sure.
If it's my show, Dennis, we blasting your comments.
No. Yeah,
that was fire, baby.
Yeah, Cricket Commission. You addressed Dennis Allen being a great choice for a DC. Again, I'm more worried about who's going to be on the OC side. On the offensive side, I think the defense. Yeah,
not worried.
You're not worried about. No, I'm saying who he's going to bring. But yeah, the offense should be fine.
Yeah, he gonna do whatever he wants. So he'll probably bring in who's the other one that brought his son in? Oh, Belichick did that too, right? He brought his son, and I didn't even know his son was on the sidelines being a coordinator. Who cares? He's gonna do his offensive coordinator thing. He's gonna be the head coach and have // coordinator as well. He's gonna do them both. Come on. The only thing I'm worried about is defense.
Any coordinator that Ben Johnson brings in will essentially be in the role of running the meetings and the position room, etc. That's more of what the offensive coordinator will be doing under Ben Johnson, where when it comes to game day, Ben, I believe, will be calling the plays. So that's just my opinion on it.
That's
but
what I think.
If you need Ben Johnson, if you need, actual people to hire, I'm available. I'll wipe the towels down. I'll grab Gatorades. You name it, I'll do it.
Actually, believe it or not, I actually read an article on what the water boys for the NFL teams get paid.
Bro.
They get paid pretty well.
All right, I don't care where I go. I might be in Denver. I might be in Kansas City. I don't care if I'm getting paid.
I read that same article.
You good?
The ball boys.
I think it was like $60,000 a year they were getting paid. So
dang, just to give water out.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler taught you well.
H2O.
God. All right. What am I doing with my life? These are choices I make in my life what am I doing? Where's my mind at?
Mr. De Leon, I can clean toilets.
I mean, yeah, I do that too. I pretty much do anything to get myself on that team.
I'm good.
Well,
hey, Ryan.
Virginia, if she needs help, I will be the assistant.
Ryan poses that it's going to be very hard to make this team.
Diaper change. She's going to need you to change that diaper. You just keep playing.
I mean, if it's $60,000, I'm easy. I'll do it. Jesus.
Sorry, you're on your own, brother.
I would definitely dress up
Literally
like the butler from what was the Adam Sandler
Mr.
movie?
Deeds.
Let me change your socks.
Oh
yeah.
Benicio, is that not Benicio? That's the other Toro.
That's a Toro, yeah.
He's the Jesus.
It's a Toro, it's a Santos, it's a Gonzalez.
Come on back, guys.
All right, guys. We've kind of gotten off the rails a little bit.
We gone rogue.
I wonder why.
Take a break.
It's not my fault. I've been PG, man.
He was PG. He held his own.
Yeah, but the problem is Serge has not been on since like November, so he's like
got all that pent up energy.
Yeah, he's
Surge
without the sugar.
Got no radio etiquette. I've never have.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We'll talk about our Chicago Bulls and the lack of winning. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with Big Z in house. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football. We got Steven from No Water on the Weekend podcast. And we got No Sweat Surge, who was sweating a lot when they chose Ben Johnson. But now we're going to pivot and transition to the Chicago Bulls, who are on a 5-game losing streak. Surprise, surprise. And there's reports that they're shopping Zach LaVine, they're shopping Vooch, they're shopping Patrick Williams, who they just signed for 5 years, $90 million. Who no one would have signed him for that much money.
I wouldn't have. I said it last season. I've said it every time. Why? I don't need him. Goodbye. See you later.
You know what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be the marketing effect. It's going to be Portis effect. It's going to be every damn bull that comes into the Chicago team and then they don't develop them correctly. They go somewhere else and they become all-star players or good role players. I'm telling you, mark my words, he's going to become a six-man player or whatever the hell it is.
I don't
that's
think
what he was
so.
in college. That's what he was in college, a 6-man. So I don't understand why is he starting. If you're averaging
Okay, I'll
9
give you that.
points,
But who do
you're
you
averaging 9
put in
points
his
and 3
place?
rebounds.
Who do you put in his place?
Buzelis.
Who?
Yeah.
Buzelis.
Yeah.
You put
Oh, the
Buzelis
kid,
in
the
there.
kid, the kid, the kid,
Yeah, the
right?
kid.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was like, who? What?
That
Yeah,
kid
he's
can,
great.
Wait, what?
he's great. He needs playing
He's
time.
pretty good. He is pretty good. But my
He
point
needs
is
to-
that these
Yeah.
players don't get developed correctly with the Chicago Bulls. They don't. When we got
No.
Donovan, and everyone was like, oh, he's the college guru. He did this and he's good. And then he came to Chicago and did what? He laid
What
an
is
egg.
the point of the Windy City Bulls if you can't develop a player? I don't get it. Like you have the Windy City Bulls that are out there in past Schaumburg. I can't even remember where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Go get
no,
Ronnie.
yes, it's like past
I
South
don't care.
Barrington, but
Like,
still,
develop them.
like you can't develop these players and you can't put them in the Windy City Bulls to get playing time. Like I don't get it. You don't have the
Well,
coaches there. I don't know.
Buzelis should not be at the Windy City Bulls. Dalen Terry should not be at the Windy City
No,
Bulls.
throw Patrick in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I
now
don't
he's
think
getting
he-
paid too much money to be with the Windy City Bulls. That's the problem.
exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
But
The only-
that's the thing. Like I don't know. What's the point of having Kane County Cougars and all the Iowa teams or like things like that? Like you have these developers, have them go there, get some time in, and then bring them up. That's what baseball does, unless they're a phenomenon. And yeah,
Wow.
I don't know.
No, I have a funny feeling once the kid is gone, he'll go under somebody's wing or become a good 6-man player or good role player for
Well,
somebody else.
not
And
Taj
we
Gibson.
Don't De Leon, take that Butler crap out of here, man. Because that
It's
kid
true.
that guy is a
It's
locker room cancer. He's been on 3 or 4 separate teams already, and we're tired of hearing about Butler and his wild hair, his locker room cancer attitude. He can go, man.
He went to Hollywood. He went to Hollywood and started hanging out with Mark Wahlberg, and ever
Fighting with
since
his baby
then,
baby mama and over $10,000
Hercules,
more,
Hercules,
55,000. This is insane. No, he can stay the hell out of here. No, I don't want
No.
Butler back. But what I'm
No.
saying is that you bring these young talent, you draft these players to develop. They're supposed to develop, and we don't develop players. We just throw them out there and have at it, boys. You
Well,
know,
the problem is that these young players don't even get playing time to develop.
that part.
Right. That's what I'm
that's the
saying.
other
You put
problem.
them at the Windy City Bulls, get them to play, do a little bit. Like, what's the point of having those
Yeah, but
players
Steven,
there sitting there?
There's a big difference between playing on the Windy City Bulls and the talent level you're playing against on a nightly basis in the actual NBA. So it's one of those where, to me, we need to get some of these veterans out of the way for these young guys to get playing time. The Zach Levines, the Vucevic's, the Patrick Williams, these guys are getting paid big money, but
You're saying blow it out.
they're not great. There's more value to them being traded for us than there is for them to actually be on our team right now.
they have more value as individuals than they do as a collective on a team, and we see that.
Correct.
I didn't watch the last game against Portland. I totally forgot they even were playing, but I did see the other game where Vooch had over 30 points.
It's 113 to 102.
No,
that was the
no,
score.
No. You know what the problem is? Is that the Bulls have fallen into the trap of throwing up 63s and only hitting 20. They've fallen into the trap. Now
That's
don't
the
get it
NBA.
twisted. But don't get it
That's
twisted.
the NBA.
certain
We've
games
talked
they-
about it on the show. Like, that's all they do is shoot
That's all
threes.
they do.
Centers shoot threes.
They're not good at it.
No, Golden State just got blown out is getting blown out by Boston right now. Probably because of that reason. Because all they do is run and gun. And if you're off,
Hayward
you're getting
shoots
blown out.
threes. Porzingis shoots threes. Like,
Yeah,
these are
no
all
one's
big
banging.
men.
No
that
one's
shoot
banging on
threes.
the low post anymore, right? And that's what you need, and that's why I think Vooch is a great piece. If you're gonna keep Vooch, I think it's great if they use him as a centerpiece, kind of like Joakim Noah. He touches the ball as part of the offense. He's a great passer. Yes, he's soft when it comes to rebounding, but he still gets 10 rebounds a game. He averages a double-double. I don't know how, because if he was really trying to get rebounds, he would get 20 a game. But he doesn't want to bang with the Giannis's and the Embiids.
No,
Anytime
none
he
of
plays
them
a
want
big
to
center, he doesn't play well.
Let me tell you something. Everybody clowns Muggsy Bogues. Everybody clowns Spud Webb. Everybody clowns all these little players back in the day. Oh, they would never be able to bang with these guys now. But let me tell you something. At least they went in and they hustled. They got their nose broken in. They got their face done in it because they're going on there. When they shoot, they don't just look at the damn ball. They actually go and chase the freaking rebound. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to follow your shot. No, these guys, I watched Levine dance on the 3-point line, and these guys are just standing on the outside perimeter, and nobody's going inside, and Buchas is standing there by himself. What the hell? They don't play no defense. The NBA is just washed. Nobody
I was going to say, that's the NBA.
Yeah.
Nobody watches.
You chuck up a three, you either make it or you don't, and then the other team gets the rebound. They come down, they chuck up a three, and then the Bulls get the rebound. Mm-hmm. And that's how it goes back and forth, and that's how you get 75 missed threes in the game.
Song coming on.
Yeah, this is why, like we've said it. I'm not going to a Bulls game. I'd rather go to many Blackhawks games as much as I want because we know who they are. But I don't have fun. Like, yeah, you're gonna have fun at a Bulls game, but were they gonna win? They're gonna lose. It's a 50-50 toss. What am I, two-faced? Like, I don't know what am I like watching. And I have no desire to watch the games unless if it comes up on Hulu TV. Yeah, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to do any of that. It's not worth my time. We could talk about them losing because that's fun, I guess.
The bottom line is the NBA has become so unwatchable because there's no mid game. There's no like, hey, pass it down to the post. There's none of that.
They're not running an offense.
Or you have your superstars sitting out for rest day. Like,
the Philly's a disaster. That's for sure.
What are we doing here? Like, and you're being paid how much? 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, and you're sitting on the bench half the season?
I wish they did that at my job.
Because I have a little ache, I have a little pain, I have a little take a Tylenol.
I will literally run up and down and beat my body up for the amount of money that these guys make for just a smidge of talent that they have.
Well, so here's the issue with that is that, remember, these guys, and especially now with the NIL, they're millionaires before they get into the league. They're getting a shoe deal before they even play one game on an NBA court. So you're getting all these accomplishments and accolades, endorsements.
Said the same thing.
Jordan did say that in the early 2000s. He says that's what's going to kill the game. These guys are not earning it. They're not earning it. It's fine. If Giannis has won a championship, give him a shoe. Great. Don't give him a shoe coming into, Caitlin Clark coming out, she had a shoe deal. As soon as she graduated, they announced a shoe deal. Is she going to be a great? Yes. Did she already earn the endorsement deal? Nowadays, yes, because she elevated Iowa.
See, Israel is saying, like, I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not.
No.
But
Leon, that is pure sarcasm. No, Papa. They used to play 82 games every damn season. Now
Jordan.
Every other game. No. You're getting paid, what $200 million, and you're gonna come in here and talk about some rust? You better get your
exhausted from what? They're more concerned about their image and what they're wearing.
And technology today with
podcasts, they're worried about everything else about their game.
Guys,
right?
We're talking about these new seasons that are coming in the past 10, 20 years. These guys are more athletic than the guys of the 90s. That's great. They prove it.
Yeah, you have trainers, athletics machines. Everything's better now for an athlete to be a better person.
$200 million on my body. Okay, prove it. Why are you playing the game?
I never heard Kobe say that he was tired. I never heard Jordan say that he was tired. I never heard Charles Barkley say he was tired.
Maybe Charles.
Well, I mean, you've seen the interviews with Kobe where he's like, I'm out here busting my hump every day in practice, and you think I'm going to pass the ball to get to the guy making TikToks and whatever on the side? He goes, and then he also doing that.
And he also said, like, hey, if you want to go out, I'll go out to the club with you. But then when you want to come to practice, you got to get up as like when I get up. Like, that's how you do it.
That's the Kobe effect when it went to, I think, in the Olympics when they wanted with Kobe out there.
Yeah, that's a great documentary.
Everybody was coming in from the club as Kobe's out there practicing already, and they're like,
yeah.
We were supposed to be practicing.
Carmelo Anthony. Who else was in that club? I don't know. I know Carmelo was there because I remember him saying that he was coming back in. But my point being is like that's the kind of mentality you need from the Bulls players, and you don't have it. It's just, hey, I'm here.
You don't have that in the NBA. You don't have that in the NBA.
No,
after
you don't.
Kobe left, Kobe was the last one that took the mantle from Jordan. Jordan gave it to Kobe. All right, take it. No one has taken the mantle from Kobe to have that work ethic to be that person for the NBA. It's not LeBron.
It's not.
LeBron. Wait. I want to reverse that because you know what? Maybe there is a player we just don't know who that is because there might be somebody that we. John Morant, who are you talking about? The guy? No, we're good.
I mean, he had potential, and then things happen.
But I would never see him as a leader of the NBA.
No, you don't have one. You don't have one.
Luka looked like he has a beer gut from here to who knows where, and chicken and wings is this thing. So
I don't know.
That food is not. He's not all there either. So what I'm saying is that there might be somebody who does have that ethic. He's just not, the top of the food chain for the NBA at this particular moment in time.
Yeah. I don't know who it is.
I've run a marathon, but I'm not as fast as someone who's like overseas. But I'll put in the work, but you won't see it. Right? I get what you're saying, but I'm just not as good as the people running from overseas.
Not your friend, baby.
Well, the bottom line is that I was watching some podcast the other day where they were talking about how the NBA has changed all their rules and everything to basically allow foreign players to come into the game and have success. Yes. Where, when Jordan and Pippen and all those guys were in the league, that there was such physicality in the league that the Europeans could not play with the physicality of the Americans.
Not many. You had
Wemby a pass because Wemby is blocking some shots. He's trying to play, but look at the guy. He's tall.
Wemby looks like an alien, bro. Like, I mean, he literally looks like Jordan in Space.
He looks like those things that do this outside the car dealership.
Yeah, right. He can't gain any more muscle because it'll mess him up.
Like Wemby looks like he can dunk from the free throw line.
Yeah, he looks like he was in Space Jam, definitely.
Yeah,
with the arm just kept stretching.
That's exactly what that looks like.
But I think they're gonna put some muscle on that kid because remember,
he will. He's young.
San Domingo High School, and he was a string bean. And now look at Tyson Chandler when he won a championship. He's all bulked up and whatever. I don't think Wemby's gonna get like that, but he's gonna put some muscle on. He's gonna be someone to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
But also his shot. When you get more muscle, you have more strength to shoot it. So I don't know.
He's like 8 feet tall. Nobody cares.
Well, yeah.
He's literally just standing there.
It still happens. That's why Durant doesn't put that much because he still has his shot. Like the more muscle he puts in, the more strength it's off.
Durant never worked on his legs. He's got them chicken legs.
Legs, arms, nothing. He don't work on anything. So maybe Wemby goes that route.
But that's the problem. The NBA, it doesn't matter about muscle or anything anymore. It's about how tall are you? Are you 6'11" or taller?
Yeah,
then you could be a basketball player.
Couldn't be a basketball player today.
Like the John Stocktons, the Jason Williams, the smaller guys that are 5'10", 6 foot, they don't exist anymore. Point guards are 6'4" now.
We'll start our tolerance.
Robinson. There's no more Robinsons out there.
It was Nate Robinson. The last smallest player that was out there was Earl Boykins.
No, Muggsy
Bogues, Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson and Earl Boykins were the last ones that were really, really short. Yeah. But otherwise,
but like I said, on average nowadays, your point guards are 6'3", 6'4". Your centers are 7 foot, 7'3".
Something's in the water. Swear to God.
Some teams don't even have centers, man. They're putting a forward out there. They're putting a 6'8" forward as their center because it's running gun.
They bust threes. That's all they do.
Right.
Look at Cat from New York. He'll just go. Now, don't get me wrong. He does get some rebounds, but he'll go and he's going to that corner and hitting a three. Yep. He's gonna do it. It doesn't matter what's in. The Warriors are the one who started all this crap. Just let me just run to the corners and hit the three.
Yeah, definitely changed up.
Can we talk about the Cubs? I just want to talk about CubsCon.
Yeah, go ahead.
CubsCon was this past weekend, and I had the pleasure of not going and getting invited. So I was disappointed, but you know what? Fine. Didn't want to go anyway. I didn't want to see Derek Lee get inducted to the Cubs Hall of Fame or Sammy Sosa. Like, no, whatever. But no, it's just CubsCon looked like a lot of fun. It looked great. Tucker, I'm glad we didn't go into arbitration. Jesus, like you got to get this stuff together. And then Ricketts saying, yeah,
$500,000.
Yeah,
that was the sticking point.
And then for Ricketts to come out and say, oh, we're not spending as much money as the Mets or the Yankees. We're breaking even every year. Get out of here. This is baloney. You make a lot of money. What are you talking about? You're not as big as the Dodgers, not as big as like New York. You're a third. You're a big franchise. I'm a Metropolis. Like, what do you mean you don't have the money and you break even? Come on. You have the money. Spend it. Spend. Like, I spend a lot on my credit cards right now. Like, put that shit on layaway. God.
The problem with the Cubs is they spent a lot of money buying rooftops and property around Wrigley Field, and the pandemic hurt them drastically because they had no income, they had no fans, they had no sales of any sort.
You had a bad year. You make it up the last couple of years.
But that's the problem, is it is taking them 2 or 3 years to build their coffers back up. And I understand from their standpoint, but you also look at like those rooftops, how many tickets are sold for a rooftop, and then all your beer, drinks,
I'll
food,
tell you this,
etc. It's a loss leader. Let's be honest.
I'll tell you this. The rooftops are the cheap corporations that buy them to get their employees and make them feel special. That's exactly what those rooftops are for. And they still sell though.
Yeah, but you have to look at
Big Z. His job would probably buy those rooftops and be like, "Oh, we're going to a Cubs game," and take all the kids and whatnot, and think it's a big deal, but it's actually really not. It's a shitty view, but they feel special. So it's kind of like that.
But again, it's a loss.
I'm going to go with that because they bought those things after they blocked the views to a lot of them because they
still sell.
Instead of taking them to Six Flags, they go to Kittyland.
Yeah, that's not.
But again, it's a loss leader from a standpoint
Costco
of like,
now.
You have people that will go there and drink 8 beers, have 9 hot dogs, a nacho, and they overindulge. So it's a loss leader from a standpoint of they're actually losing money, or like just how much food they prepare and end up throwing away because people aren't eating the food, or they
pour bleach on it. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just spend money. Like, if you're not an American if you don't have debt. Like, that's facts. Yeah, I have debt. I'm an American. Spend money. Like I said, you got to spend money to make money. Like Big Z in the podcast, brother. You got to spend money to make money. Brother, so subscribe.
You 99 cents a month.
Push the subscribe button today.
Hit that smash subscribe button. I just
lift your finger up like ET and hit that.
God! Button. And then this whole Dodger thing. Oh God! I'm so frustrated with baseball, and I can't be.
Let's not even bring up the Dodgers. All right,
it's no one's
fault.
fault.
First of all, the Cubs didn't want to give that closer an extra year. That's all he wanted was one more year, and the Cubs are like, "Nah, we're good."
Oh God! It just. I'm so excited for summer, but then it's like I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be watching Marquee and giving them $20 a month for the next 5 months, and the no October playoff. Like, it's just, oh God.
Hey, Steve, have you ever wonder what marriage is like? You just
the problem
I have one apparently, so I'm happy. But my point being is like this Cubs marriage is driving
even being happy.
Yeah, this is me happy right now. Like, oh God!
Until it comes through, he's gonna be
I can't. I'm just. And then they have new jerseys. I want to buy one, and like they suck me back in. I'm just God.
I didn't really care for the jersey.
I thought it was nice.
My kids love
it. Was nice.
Yeah, they're
I
nice.
all right.
I like
Listen,
them.
it's a touristy thing to make money, man.
Oh, dude,
Like
and they're gonna
Chicago
get me.
the Blues.
The
They're gonna
Wrigley
get
Field
me.
All it
jerseys
needed
were
was a
ugly.
pizza thing on it. That's all it needed, man. It's for the
They're gonna get
tourists.
me. They're gonna get me. I'm gonna buy one. You're gonna see me on the show with the jersey on, and I just bought the Wrigleyville one. I just bought it, and they're gonna do this.
Go ahead, Ben, Papa. Keep it.
I didn't
We
really
all
like
know you're gonna go get one.
I didn't
Yeah,
really
I
like
know.
the
I'm
lettering
gonna get
on
one.
these jerseys.
No.
I didn't really like the font they used. It
Yeah.
looks kind of like an old vaudeville, like kind of,
I didn't care for the
lettering.
Wrigley ones either.
I didn't really care for
No.
this. I like the coloring on the new jerseys, like the light, like baby blue color.
From the
I like the
70s, yeah.
color, but like I said, I didn't really care for the font they used.
You're not a
on-
real
on the
fan.
jersey.
I'm kidding. But no, I get it.
I will post the picture of me as like a 3-year-old in a Cubs hat. All right, you have no idea.
I will post a photo of my mom at Wrigley Field with me in her stomach. I'm just kidding.
Drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette.
There you go. This is why I'm messed up. But no,
Steve, you just get weirder every freaking moment. I'm just
it's because of the Cubs, man. They break my heart every time.
is he
You
Well,
asked me what my favorite
technically, I
sport is.
was one of those Super Bowl babies, so
Yeah, you were. Your
That's
dad
nice.
was like, "I'm ready." But no, like
I'm gonna have a shot.
I'm just like saying, like, it's just the Cubs. If anyone asks me what my favorite sport is, I'm watching the Cubs. I love them more than the Bears, but it's just it's frustrating.
Wait a minute. I thought you were more of a Blackhawks fan.
No, I love the Blackhawks too, but like if I'm watching sports, I'm watching baseball. Like that's how Big Z and me like get along because we can watch any baseball game that we put on.
Yeah, I can.
We
I
don't
can
care
watch
what's
Royals
going
versus
on.
Orioles. I'll have a good time watching that.
Yeah, but that's my
I'm the
point. Like,
complete opposite. It's got to be football for me because
oh
like-
yeah,
like-
that's true too. But with
Well,
baseball,
I
it's very few people that
I
actually
have
would watch any
no
game.
interest in any baseball game that is not the Cubs. Like
See, I'll
I
watch
don't.
anything.
You know what? I am the same way unless I'm making a pretty sizable.
Wait,
bet.
you're right. Yeah, that's now that with
yeah.
fantasy football, which I've been doing for what we've been doing that now like 20 years, fantasy
You
football.
lost.
I'm going to tell you something.
Hey, I was in first
Fantasy-
place the whole
fantasy
way, and then I
football-
lose. Yeah,
If
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
now-
doing
yeah.
the weekly ones, if I'm not doing the weekly ones where it's head to head or something like that, I will
Yeah.
not partake in any fantasy footballs ever again because I think there's a lot of cheating going on and a lot of rigging ups, and I just can't do fantasy football. But I'll do the week to week ones where we possibly have all the same players except 2 guys or something like that. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that because it's easier to make money off of that than doing that other where people get hurt, you're down for 3 weeks or something like that, or they're rigging each other's teams where they're just giving each other players and so forth. I can't do fantasy football no more.
Oh, you have a lot of people that are colluding with each other.
JC,
Uh-huh.
what just slid on the side of that?
I don't know. I saw that too, but I think it's the dog.
it was a blind being closed behind me.
I thought it was a
Oh.
ghost. I'm like, there's a ghost
No,
behind you.
no.
But no,
Scooby-Doo,
we
where
could
are
end
you?
baseball and do what you're watching. It's already some time, but I'm just if you Chad, if you're listening to this, like or whatever, but you like if you look at our group chat, it's all hate against the Dodgers on that thing. Our group text.
Yeah,
And I
like
can't
said,
be mad.
Don't hate the
I
player.
have-
It's the game, man.
I can't say that I
until
won't say it.
until the new cap gets introduced in like what is it 2027, I don't know that
Mhm.
I'll be able to watch baseball just because again, like to me it's the most ridiculous thing that you have a team out here that has now put a billy aside to pay out in 2030
Billy.
$1
Could
billion.
team have done that? Your team could have
Billy.
done the same thing.
We could
That's
have, but
not
it
the
sounds
point.
stupid.
There has to
It's
be
stupid.
a payroll that everyone is playing.
I agree.
upon.
I agree. But these are the rules that are set for baseball. They took advantage of them. Okay.
So what's
Any
the
team could have
downside
done
on
the
it?
exact same thing. What's up?
Hold on. What would be so? Why are the other teams not doing something similar to that? Where what is the downside?
Exactly.
I don't know. I have no idea. And like, that's
Exactly
why I'm
that.
not mad. I'm not mad about it anymore because no one else is doing it.
Well, the
And
better
then come
question to me is
April, we were going to
why
go
didn't
to
the
Japan
MLB step
and get
in?
blown away.
Again, the better question to me is why did the MLB not step in and stop this and be
Stop
like
what?
Because you can't. Is a part of the
emergency meetings with the owners, whatever. We need to solve this. That like
You can't
or
defer
come up.
all your whole team.
Why would the players union agree to that when players are getting paid?
No.
30 years
Right?
down the road.
It doesn't matter. At that point, I'll be on a less tax bracket, or I might be all in a different country. I won't be taxed in California. I'll be taxed in somewhere else, right? So
But
that's
no,
what
Jose.
you want.
Okay.
Oh,
But
you
have to
you
think
know
about it.
California's coming after Otani's money.
I was
They
just
are
about
going to
say
come
that,
up with
because
some new
they're not
law
getting paid.
that it
They're not
doesn't
getting
matter.
paid
You
their tax.
perform the duties here in California. It doesn't matter if they're paying you 30 years down the road.
I-
You played and earned your money here in California, and
not
you're going to
paying
pay that tax.
I was just about to say
I
that.
agree with you, but they're going to say you're passing this law today. I signed my contract back then.
Yeah.
But you can't retrofit that.
You can't do it. You can't
You
do
want to make a bet? You want to make a bet?
That they're
I
retro-
smell bet.
I
Wait,
still
wait,
go
wait.
for it, but I don't think they'll win.
Do you think they can redo the contract?
Yeah.
No,
they
no,
can
no.
restructure it.
They can restructure it at any point. But I'm saying is like I signed this contract. The fact that you want to change the rules by why we're playing
He has
is
to
going
agree to it,
forward.
and he's
Not you
gonna
can't
agree.
go
Doesn't matter.
back.
Even if they pass it tomorrow, it's still, hey, guess what? You played under a contract. Yeah, you signed it whatever day, but guess what? You are currently playing under that contract this year.
I'm going on that bet with JC, and I
Oh
never
yeah,
lose a bet on this show.
maybe he missed a year
I don't
of
think
that
he can
contract
retro
or
it.
2 years, but as soon as they put that in the law, guess what? It doesn't matter because
So you think the law is going
it's not a matter of when you sign the contract. It's a matter of when you perform the duties of that contract.
No. Well, here, okay, and this is probably a bad analogy, but how about all the people who are in for minor offenses in jail? But now the new laws with the drugs, right, with the weed, I'm just going to use that. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys. But with the smaller offenses, nobody's getting locked up for that. Nobody's seeing any offenses because it's the new law. But they're not shaking off that old stuff. If you're still in jail for something you did in 1999, you're still in jail because you did
That's
it then.
tomatoes. That's a completely different thing.
No,
That's
because he's
No,
saying
it's the
law
law.
versus contract.
When it comes to tax money, they're
Yes.
gonna get it.
Thank
Oh, they're
you.
gonna-
I'm on
they're gonna
JC's
take it.
point
They're
here.
going to take it.
The IRS needs their money. Okay.
No,
when it comes
They'll
to
lose it.
correct though. JC's
when it
correct.
comes to privatized prisons and being paid money for people being in prison, guess what? They're gonna make that
They're
money.
gonna make that money.
Oh, yeah.
If
You,
I
you
don't
think they're
pay
just
my
gonna release
taxes for
people?
10
No, they
years,
need that
I'm
money.
a little tadpole.
But
They
JC
need
is
big
right.
fish to go
Listen,
fry.
When it comes to money, money
JC's right.
talks.
That was my point that I was gonna say. Right, he beat me to it because the government of California was already complaining. They're already complaining, like, wait a minute, you deferred this money, but we're not getting our money from this guy. When then by the time he pays, he'll be back to wherever he came from.
It'll
And
be
then
in
he's
Japan when
gonna
he gets
pay-
that payment.
But he's right. He'll be retired. He'll be gone. So he's
He'll
not
be
paying any taxes.
retire and he won't right because he's not working. He's not
That's
a resident.
problem. But that's a problem. Is that not a problem for you? Because I
Okay.
pay taxes.
Like I said,
You don't care?
California will write a law
Oh, no,
basically stating
I care. I care because if I got to
You know
pay
why I
taxes,
don't care?
that son of a gun
Because-
better pay some taxes. Oh,
We'll
'cause
talk
he's
off
not
here why
here.
I don't care. I don't want to get political on this one.
I don't care. It's California. I could
Yeah,
care less about California.
But
It's
that's my
California.
point. If I got to pay
You know,
taxes, he got to pay taxes.
Listen, I hate to be that guy, but even with all these fires, I know a lot of people are affected.
Mm.
But for those people whose houses were $35 million and burned to the ground, I kind of don't really feel sorry for you.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't.
I'm on the fence because
For those people
some
who
people
were
lost their
making minimum
livelihood.
wage, for those people who are making minimum wage, living in apartments that were slums,
That's
yeah,
different.
I feel bad for you. But for
Oh,
like I
no,
said, the people in Malibu on the beach,
Which is their
ocean
third or
front.
fourth house. Yeah.
But there
Yeah,
was there was a lot of
I'm
millionaires
sorry.
that were living out there, and they lost their livelihood. Now, I'm not saying all of them deserve, the sympathy and empathy, but however, there's a lot of people who also lost their livelihood because they actually do live there. They lost their, old pictures or and so forth and so forth. So I'm just saying, some people lost their livelihood.
You can be
Oh,
sympathetic,
absolutely.
but you don't have. For someone who has a $35 million mansion, I am not going to be
No.
sad that they lost their house. Yes. Are there stuff that was in there that's, precious to them? Yeah, I get that.
Mhm.
But
All
don't
four of us will
but
never
it's
have a
not gonna
$30
make-
million house.
Like,
You know, you
I'll
gotta miss that
donate-
macaroni picture that your kids made for you.
I'll donate to the people in North Carolina before I donate to the people in
Flint,
California.
Michigan water.
The people in Hawaii who had a similar situation before that.
Right.
Absolutely.
I agree with you guys on that aspect of it. I know we're getting long here. I want to do
North Carolina
is
still.
because I have some what you watching, and I was excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Before we get into watching, want to wish a friend of the show, Ozzie Guillen, it's his birthday today, so I want to wish Ozzie Guillen happy birthday. One of White Sox greats, manager, won the World Series, and a pretty cool, awesome dude. And if you go see him at any point, he's like, we'll give you the time of day, and don't get bad.
Happy birthday, Ozzie. And that takes a lot for me to say.
It's probably one of the best pre and post game shows on television.
I agree.
That literally kept me from doing a lot of bad stuff with the White Sox season. So happy birthday, Ozzie. All right, let's move on to what you're watching that isn't sports. Go ahead, Steven.
Skeleton Crew, Star Wars. Finish that.
Okay.
A lot of people, Star Wars community, a lot of nerds, man, complaining about it that it sucks, and I'm like, dude, it's not terrible, but it's not bad. It's good. And then Sean and I and Angie watched last night Gladiator 2, and that got bad reviews, and I thought it was great. I thought it was actually,
Is that already on streaming?
No, we
got it. Understood.
Yeah. Understood. So, it was great. It was a great film. I didn't think it was bad. There was a lot of action, not much talking, which is great. You want to see action, right? For Gladiator, but other than that, got my tickets for Captain America: Winter Soldier, or not Winter Soldier. I keep saying Winter Soldier. Brave New World. Mm-hmm. Going on the Thursday the 13th before Valentine's Day. So IMAX. Super excited for that. That's it.
Serge, you watching something that's not sports?
Yeah. I'm a kind of a Vince Vaughn fan, so I've been watching Bad Monkey on Apple TV.
Pretty good. Yeah, I started watching it. It's good.
It's actually pretty good. And then there was like another movie on Netflix with an airplane and the guy's in his ear. I'm not used to him playing the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Shit, I can't remember. Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, essentially he's a TSA officer.
Yeah.
And then
it was actually good.
Yeah, it was a very good movie, very action packed. I think it was really good. Yeah, definitely watch that one.
I can't remember, but it was actually really, really good.
Yeah, JC, what do you got?
I'm still watching Silo, and then I also have kind of been watching Skeleton Crew. I tend to fall asleep during it a lot of times, so I gotta go back and rewatch and catch up on like what actually happened and why. I do like the show Silo. I know I've talked about it in the past. Kind of like an interesting, almost like Fallout. They're living in like a underground shelter, if you will, and like it's a community of like different levels. From like level 1 to level 100 and whatever. And then, like I said, you have your judge and your bureaucracy versus the people working on like the different things trying to keep the silo running. And it's a very interesting show. If you've never seen it, I would definitely recommend it. Other than that, just kind of looking forward to the new Reacher, looking forward to the new Reacher season 3 will be coming out in February. Cobra Kai is coming out in February, and then
Daredevil in March. Yeah,
Daredevil.
So good.
Why do I think there's one other streaming show that is coming out like March-ish?
Werewolf just came out this past Friday.
Okay.
Not familiar with Werewolf.
It's like a horror werewolf when the father gets bit by an actual werewolf, and it's
there's a DC show that I was watching as well. What was
Creature Commando?
Yes, yeah, Creature Commando. Yeah.
Commando. Really good.
It's good.
There's a lot of cameos in that one if you pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I finished Creature Commandos.
Nice. Did you like it?
I loved it. I think he's doing a good job with that. I did like, all the cameos, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And then I started
lightning
watching
scene though, right?
the lightning scene.
Lightning scene. Yeah.
I started watching Superman and Lois on HBO, which was a CW show, and it got canceled after 4 seasons because James Gunn took over and wanted to make his own Superman.
But it ended on a good note.
I know. I gave it a chance, and I think I'm on season 1, episode 9. Each episode is about 45 to 48 minutes. Each episode is shot like a movie. It feels like a movie every time you watch an episode, so the production value is there, and it's a different story. Essentially, him and Lois already have their life; they're adults, and they have a set of twins, and then everything else can entail from that. Yeah, so
Chris, we talked about sports. We're doing what you're watching to end the show, but
Chris Foster is like, what the hell?
Yeah, we saw Superman.
We
talked about
You missed the whole Bears segment, brother.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so to explain to Chris, I don't know if you're a new fan or not, but we do about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes about sports of Chicago, and then usually like the last 10 minutes we'll do a segment of either what are you watching, or we'll do a segment where we a stirring the pot topic. Ooh, also, I brought up a stirring the pot topic and sent it in the group chat. Do we want to go with that one as well today? Or?
All right, let's make it quick.
Okay. So the stirring the pot question is
I do remember now. Yeah.
Female superstar wrestlers, Trish Stratus or Lita? Choose wisely, gentlemen.
I'm gonna let everyone go
wisely.
First. I'm a wrestling fan, so go ahead.
Who are we going after? Trish Stratus or Lita?
Going after?
Let's just say if you had the opportunity to go on a date with one of them, which one would you go on a date with?
The blonde one.
He said fake wrestling.
Trish.
Thanks for chiming in. Just we'll post on anytime we go have a show, we'll post it ahead of time so you see what time we're starting. Today was an anomaly, but we usually are on at 7:30 every Monday. So Chris, come back next week and we'll let you chime in. Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
Chris, you had a lot of great points. I was reading the comments the whole time and would love to have you back on next week if you want to check us out. Like Big Z said, usually 7:15, 7:30 on Mondays we go live. Would love to chat Bears with you. So check us out next week. That said, I would go with Trish Stratus right now. I think she has gotten hotter since she has stopped wrestling and doing the whole yoga and fitness thing. I think she is hotter now, but I'm going to be honest with you. Back in the day when I was young, I was a huge Lita fan. Huge Lita fan.
All right. I was a Lita fan because of her wrestling skills.
What a loser.
She was a badass. No. I mean, she obviously,
she was a badass, but she was still like feminine and hot, unlike China.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, China, we know about China, but yeah, definitely. If I'm looking at eye candy, it was definitely Trish. But Lita did give you a little bit of both. So I'm still choosing Trish just because she's aged gracefully.
Fine wine.
So that's 3 for Trish.
3 for Trish.
I don't know none of these people. Y'all on your own.
I just looked at my phone right now and I was like,
yeah, look it up right now.
Okay.
Trish Stratus and Lita.
Trish?
Yeah.
Trish Stratus. Yeah, she was a fitness
I don't even
model.
watch.
She got
I sent it in the group chat.
Wrestling. And I saw it and I was like, I know.
Put it in the group chat? Okay, that's easy.
She could beat me up in many different ways.
You got to pay extra for that, Steven.
Now,
I can't afford it, so probably not.
PG
put
guys.
in a leg lock, please.
PG. Number PG. Okay. Y'all yelled at me for like 5 minutes about PG. Okay, so
I didn't say anything.
We heard what you said. We know.
All I said is you could put my head on a leg lock anytime. I don't know what you're talking about. That is very PG.
You know what? Oh, Is that these two? Oh,
Yeah, those two. Oh, what do you mean? Oh,
they got like a pound of cake stuff on their face. Is that?
Are you looking at
makeup?
recent pictures or looking at the ones from the late 90s?
I'm looking at this video thing next.
He's probably looking at what I sent in the group chat. So
Yeah,
that's what I looked at. I just looked at the
I'm
photo.
okay with cake face. I'm good. Nah.
If that makeup's not coming out of your pocket, I don't care. You know.
Nah. I'm good. No me quiero. No. Sound like that old lady. On Family Guy. No. That's
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. No.
yeah, no, I think we all can agree though. Lita was definitely the better wrestler for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything.
the
I'm just
better
going off of
talent.
looks here.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what we were going for. Was the if you
The
had
14-year-old boy reaction. That's what JC wanted.
the one night in heaven.
JC's bedroom is 14. There's Trish and Leah right there at posters.
You know what? I never did posters as a kid in my bedroom. Really,
I would have thought JC would have been more into Stacy Keibler.
Stacy's mom.
Stacy
Man,
Keibler. She was a
she
tall
was
blonde
hot.
with very long legs.
Yeah. Oh, I know who she is, and she is hot,
See?
but I definitely like Lita more though.
don't
To be
watch
honest
it.
with you,
I don't
Got
watch
it.
it. No, my son does.
You should. It's really good right now, man. It's been good for the last 2 years, and it's blowing up again.
Horrible acting.
Yeah, I can't do it, man.
I can't do it. I'm with Chris Foster on this one. Fake wrestling.
all right. I sent 2 photos into the group chat
Let's see the
to
new.
give you, some new perspective.
So one
No.
has fake hair.
The first
The blonde one has fake
blonde
hair.
Blonde one.
That's fake.
I don't
You know
care.
those extensions.
I don't
Nah,
care.
I'm good. I'm good. If you're gonna give me
Fake it
somebody,
till you
give me
make
someone
it.
with the real hair. So we're gonna go with the redhead. Is that red or
So
brown?
he's going Lita. Okay.
He's going Lita. All right.
I'd rather go with the leader chick because that's
All right.
extensions.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Everything on
She's
that
got
girl's
money to
fake.
take care of herself. I don't know what this argument's
Is
about.
that taking care of
Cubs
yourself?
argument.
Is adding on fake stuff, or taking care of yourself is supposed to be, preserving what's
Life is
original
too
about
short.
yourself?
You fake it till you make it. Like if you're,
Ideas.
Matt Nagy, you fake it till you make it.
Even proves the situation. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
That
All right.
too.
Really
don't
quick before we get off the air,
I don't like
Ohio,
No,
Notre Dame.
no me gusta.
Notre Dame.
I
You
want
pick it.
Notre Dame. Hold on. I want Notre Dame to win, but they've been exposed on the run, so it's going to probably most likely be Ohio State.
All right, send me your bet before this before kickoff.
He's not gonna send it. New
I'm gonna
phone.
go Notre
I'm
I'm going to
about
go
to
Notre
to sleep.
Dame. I think that after the head coach of Notre Dame leaving to go to LSU and having a young head
Whoa,
coach come
When
in
did that happen?
and take over.
Last year.
Oh, okay. You're talking
Yeah,
about
and
Kelly? Okay. I thought we were
Yeah.
going to lose this guy too. Okay, my bad.
No. But what I'm saying is after Kelly left, because he quote unquote wanted to go to somewhere that had a history of championships and prestige and yada yada,
They
and
broke
won
that.
national championships, etc. For this new young head coach to come in and turn this roster around and take them to a national championship. Here we go, Notre Dame.
That karma is going to slap Kelly right in the damn face. Like, no matter where he goes, that karma is slapping him silly. And you know what? And for what's his face, Urban Meyer's to state what he stated, and he's in a predicament that he's in right now, as far as stating that it should be only going to the championship teams. Did I read that correctly? Do you remember the statement that he made? No. Okay, so he made a statement like years ago. I think it's like 2007 that only the championship teams should be making it. The ones that won their conferences should be making it to this playoff game or this championship game. So now he's in the championship game, but he didn't make it that way. He made it in through the playoff format. You guys did not see any of that, did you? All right,
No.
Go ahead,
No.
Chris, make your prediction.
I don't hate. I hate Ohio, so it's going to be Notre Dame.
I'm okay with Notre Dame
And
winning.
tonight
I want
will
them to
be
win.
the night that I will fall for you.
Yeah. But I'm serious though. Like Urban Meyer, he did. I just sent it to you guys. He
He's a piece of
deserves the
work.
karma as well. He deserves the karma because of what he said. He says, if you don't win your conference, you shouldn't be playing for a national championship. Urban Meyer, 2006. Sorry, not 7, 2006. But look where he's at now.
Yeah, they didn't win their conference. All right, so you all win Notre Dame?
I want
Yeah,
Notre Dame.
I think-
yes.
All right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. All the new fans that have been chiming in today, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our listeners for sticking with us and supporting us through 231 episodes so far. Thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. You know what to do when you go to gritclothingco.com. Check us out on social media. Stevie B is on, where are you at, Stevie B?
Yeah, No on the Weekend back on TikTok because it did not get banned. So you have No on the Weekend on TikTok, and then No on the Weekend spelled WKND on Instagram. New episode is out today. It's called Mac Charizard because we talk about Big Macs and Pokemon coming to McDonald's again. So be sure to check us out.
Serge, where can they find you?
In bed. And working a real job. So
whoa.
That was PG. I'm gonna be in bed. You're gonna find me in bed at work. In bed at work. Maybe that could be a new song. In bed at work. Isn't it catchy? In bed.
I'm pretty sure you can make it happen.
We're gonna come up with
some
a beat.
beats on there. Go ahead, Sean, to make you some beats.
Don't nobody steal that. Don't
It's Friday.
That's
We're
a
gonna
good
make it
one.
on Friday.
Mhm.
So
All
yeah,
right.
why not? We can make a song about work.
It's a pod on the X. JC has his handle up there. JC Dynasty FF, also on the X, and you can find me at Big Z _606 Media on all of my socials. So, if you have a Stirring the Pod or a What You Watching topic, hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, for the boys, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 232. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
Swoosh.